if you've ever taped over your logo before rattle canning your gun because you spent a little bit too much money on your gun, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. And with that, today we're going to be talking about camouflage and why we should camouflage our gun. We're also going to break down how I've got this gun painted the way it is and some ideas that you can do at home. So camouflaging your gun, why do it, right? Most guns nowadays come in black. This one, I had FDE furniture. I could have left it, but it doesn't really match the rest of the gun. Now black though, black stands out in the woods. Look outside your window or your basement window. Nothing in nature is black, right? Another thing with a gun being black is it shows a lot of these straight lines that the gun has. So by painting it, we help break up some of those lines. Also, black has a shine to it. So by painting it with a flat or a matte finish, it's gonna take some of that shine away. It's also gonna help prevent enemy from distance being able to tell what you have on your gun, what type of gun. If you have optics, lasers, lights, all kinds of fancy stuff on there, it'll help prevent the enemy from knowing what you have, and if they know what you have, they can better identify the threat and how they should go about ambushing you, attacking you, whatever, raiding your basement. Keep in mind, a painted gun is no good if you're also not camouflaged. If you're running in with a black jacket on, it's not going to do too good. That brown, like green, brown, whatever color you paint your gun, pink, it's not going to matter. It's going to stand out in that black jacket. So a lot of people don't want to paint their gun. I know when I had this hanging up and I was getting ready to paint it was going through my mind, am I really about to do this? Should I really do this? Because it does look sweet black, I will admit. It does look pretty cool. Another reason why people are kind of afraid is the resale value. Get yourself a good go-to rifle. That this is what I'm using if I need to get up and go. You can have other guns, you can keep them black if you want to resell them, that you're just playing around, going to the range with buddies, shooting. Then those you can keep black. But your go-to rifle, I highly recommend painting it. Alright, we're going to start off with taping the trigger. Main reason why I'm doing this is so there's not a gritty feel to the trigger. I know some people don't. And so we don't get paint on the inside of the trigger there too. Alright, trigger's taped. Now we're going to move on to the forward assist. Get that taped up since that's another moving part. We want that to be able to move smoothly without getting stuck. Some other things, I'm not worried about the logo or on any of these. If you really care to protect that, you can tape over it. Also, not worried about the safety. That's still going to function fine. So some things, if you really care, you can tape over your logos. Same thing with fire safe. I'm not too worried about all that stuff. I took my optic off because it's not the optic that's going to be staying on here for the long term. I'm hoping to get LPVO at some point. When I get that, then I'll paint it or tape it. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. So the optic's off. If I was to have an optic on, I'd want to make sure I cover those lenses, whether with a lens cap or paint or tape over that so you don't get paint on your lenses. And if you really care, or if you're running a suppressor, you can tape over your muzzle flash so that can go on smoothly. It's just going to cook off the barrel eventually, so I'm not going to really worry about that. Nor am I'm also not going to really focus on painting that spot either. Alright, so here's an example of a gun that was already painted. You can see it's a two-color system that he went with. He went with that coyote or flat dark earth and then a darker brown. He taped over the handguard a little bit just to add some extra grip. He left his mag in when he taped it, just like I'm going to be doing on mine. A couple other things. He taped over, he had a flashlight. That's one thing I didn't talk about earlier. He's got a flashlight. He would tape over the lens there. And then I don't believe he went over it. Yeah, it just looks like it's two colors. Just on the diagonal, came in and striped it and went from there. Alright, so I'm going to sort of do the same thing here. I'm going to start off with a different base color. A lot of times we're doing stuff in the summer. Yeah, we're doing stuff in the winter too. And there is still greens. Well, that's weird. I'm not working like that. So I'm going to do something similar to him with the similar base coats, except I'm going to use, not that, I'm going to use a dark brown and I'm going to use a green instead. I want a little bit of green on my gun. Even in the winter, you're in pines and evergreens. So green's a good color to have, but I don't want a lot of it. So I'm going to use this as a base coat. Same thing with this. I'm going to stripe base coat, similar pattern, diagonals, and then I'm going to come over top with the lighter tan. That's going to help it pop because it's, well, not pop, but I'm going to come over top of it with the lighter tan. That way the gun's lighter. It's a lot easier. I can rub dirt on it if I feel like I need to. I can wrap it with other things that's going to make it darker. It's easier to make something darker than it is to make lighter. So the lighter the gun, the better. I think that's going to be maybe it for the green. And yes, I'm painting over that brown. It's going to wear off eventually. It can't hurt to have some more on it. Just come back and touch it up if I feel like I need to, but I think that might be good for now. Alright, so there's a couple different ways you can try to do a pattern over top of this. Ideally, I'd have a mesh bag, but we're doing this last minute, so I don't. So I can makeshift. I don't think I'm going to do this because the holes are a little bit small. But if you need to, you can take burlap and kind of try to stretch it apart. And if there's cracks like this, it'll spread open. That's one way you can do it. I don't think I'm going to do that. I might. We'll see how this other way goes. The other way is, I did this on one of my old airsoft guns. I took a Badman racket, held it up against to paint. That did kind of work pretty good. And then, so my plan is, I'm going to go try this to start. Gonna go over with that tan at a couple different spots, make that pattern. Not gonna go too crazy with it. And then I'm gonna come over top of the green with the light tan and use this to make it like a foliage outline. I'll just hold it up against it and go from there. So I'll start out with this. And this is gonna go on the brown, and I think I'm gonna touch up on the green. We'll see. Again, I haven't really decided. It's sort of trial and error. And it's already drying pretty quick. All right, here, now I'm gonna go over top of the green spots. Gonna use the tan again and lay it on here. And I'm hitting some of the brown spots as well with this. I think we're gonna go with that for now. All right, well with that, I think we're just about done now. I'll take the tape off. All right, and with that, I think we're done. I took the tape off. It's good to go. I'm just doing some final checks over it. Everything looks good. If I feel like I need, as it wears off, I can come back, touch it up again as needed. But for now, I think that's gonna work. Keep me hidden in the woods.
Want to show the other side of it? Just give them a little look over it, show them what the other side looks like.
Here's what the other side looks like as well. And with the mag being in there, it's no issues. It'll feed right in. There you go. There we have it.